Hey everybody, I'm Demon Bane, and I love Star Wars. It's one of the big things that a huge part of my childhood growing up. And I want to talk about the Acolyte. So there's been a lot of controversy about this show. There's been a lot of people hating on it, and then episode 5 comes out and everybody's like, oh my goodness, it's one of the best live action Star Wars TV ever, blah 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 blah. Or that episode anyway. And now people are like pulling back their ideas, all their negativity and stuff like that. I have been saying this whole time to let the story play out. Remember, the first couple episodes of any new show or any new anything is setting up the world. It's called world building, okay? Even though we all know Star Wars, the High Republic era in live action is relatively new. Especially some of the stuff, they have to introduce all the characters, and the Acolyte has a huge cast. There's a lot of people, okay? And it's, while May and Osha are the main crux of the story, there's a lot of characters around them, and there's a lot of stuff that has to be explained. So those first couple episodes are going to seem a little bit dull. But you gotta, as the saying goes, let them cook. Let it go. Let it play out. Let it go on. Which is why I haven't said anything, and I haven't really made any videos. I've started a couple of rants, but I never posted any of them. I never fully did a big video about it or anything like that, because I don't want to say anything until we start to get further along in the series, because I don't know where it's going to go. And as much as people speculate, and there was all this speculation on whether he's the apprentice or the master, or whether this stranger or Darth Teeth or Khmer, whatever you want to call him. Khmer is his real name the name that he gives the Jedi and May, as when he's posing as the helper. But everybody's like, oh, he used cortosis in episode 5. It's so amazing, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, cool. Episode 5 was amazing. The fight choreography was awesome. But in order for that fight choreography and that big battle to have emotional weight and emotional depth, they had to tell the story first. Which means that all that boring stuff, or all of that lame TV or whatever, had to happen in order for you to understand why the fight happened. Otherwise, they're just fighting. And as much as I love shows that are just action-packed fighting shows, and those are cool, they're so much better when there is weight to the story behind it. Jackie dying hurt. Watching her get pierced with the little dagger sword, that hurt. The dagger lightsaber hurt. It hurt my heart. I didn't want her to go. She was awesome. When they killed Yord, that also hurt. I was like, I didn't really like him. He was kind of a jerk, but I didn't want him to die. People jump all over things when it comes to Star Wars. The Star Wars community can be an amazing place where people support each other and, express their love of Star Wars and talk about their things that they're excited about, or things that are coming up, or things that they really, really liked and stuff like that. But at the same token, Star Wars fans can be so toxic. They can be so hateful and so mean. And it's like, really? Why? The story's not done. There are still more episodes. It's not done yet. And there was just the first 2 episodes. When the first 2 episodes came out, the premiere, people were pooping all over it. And I'm like, it's the first 2 episodes. Would you wait? See where the story goes. If you judged all books by the first chapter, nobody would ever read. Be patient. I know that's completely antithetical for the world that we live in today. But be patient. Let the story grow. See where it goes. We did the same thing. We hated on the prequels, we've hated on the sequels, and honestly, I like the theory that Khmer is a Knight of Ren, or the origin of the Knights of Ren, or something like that. I would love for them to give the sequels the Clone Wars treatment. When the prequels came out, 1, 2, and 3, they were roasted to death. Nobody liked them. There was this whole big old thing. There was only 3 Star Wars movies, blah, 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 blah. But as Clone Wars came out, and, you know, the new books started to come out, and the stories were being told of the prequel era, they began to look back on them with fondness, because they filled out all of the backstories. And now the prequels are just, you know, it's just more Star Wars. And then when the sequels came out and everybody's hating on those, and like, oh, there's only 6 Star Wars movies, I'm like, that sounds familiar. Let the stories cook. Let them cook. Let them grow. Be patient. More stories will be told. I can't wait to see what they do with the new Jedi Order, with Daisy Ridley coming back as Rey. I really hope that they give it the same treatment, where we get to see these characters that we met in the sequels grow. We get to fill out some of the backstory. And I know a lot of that has been done in books. I have trouble reading books. I'm still reading The Princess and the Scoundrel. I've been reading it for like 2 months at this point. I need to finish it. But let the stories grow. You may find that when you have more context, the stories are actually good. Whether you like the way that they happened at the time, give it time. Be patient. Let the stories grow. Let the backstories be told. And you may end up looking back on the stories that have already happened and say, oh, that's cool. The Acolyte is gonna be a good show. Even if people criticize the actors or the storytellers or whatever, eventually it's gonna be good. Because the other stories will be told. When the other seasons come out, when other High Republic stories come out, when whatever happens, it's gonna be good. Be patient. That's all. Bye, guys.